Good evening traders, Douglas here. Today we're going to be covering some basic algorithmic trading setups brought to you by AlgoBox. Now if you saw my recent Earn to Trade video where I talk about their career path, I mentioned that I'd be using just AlgoBox to try to pass the evaluation. I also mentioned that I am in the beginning phases of learning AlgoBox, and so my likelihood of passing that evaluation was very slim, and sure enough I blew the challenge. I started out kind of hot for the first 2 days and then just kind of tore myself apart, making bad trades over and over and over. But that's to be expected learning any new system. That is by no means a criticism of AlgoBox. I think this is a brilliant program, and you should at least take a look at. So we're going to look at some of the basic setups here because there were some really good ones very early in the morning on ES. Okay, so right after the open. And one thing you're going to notice about the three setups that I'm about to show you, one, they're clear, and so they're easy to see once you learn it and once you kind of get into the flow of things, which is what I'm still learning how to do. But the other thing you'll notice is how many trades, like nice trades with nice movement that you could take within a very short period of time. Instead of sitting there all day, you could have your trading done in literally, I think the time span is about 20 minutes over these three trades, maybe less. So let's get right into it. We've got the first setup right here. So this is the double cross, what's called a double cross double move. And before I get too much into that, let's cover why there's three screens here. So this is your shortest time frame. This is AlgoBox's bars. It's called Algo bars. And so on the ES, we've got Algo bars 1, and the higher the number, the bigger the bars. We got Algo bars 3, and we got Algo bars 8. Now, the easiest way to think of these is kind of a proprietary Renko type system. Okay, that's just a basic way to explain it. And so you like to see setups kind of span across multiple different time frames. What I kind of like is if I see a setup on a higher time frame, I look for the setup to coincide on the lower time frame to try to get that tighter stop in there. Okay, so that's just one basic strategy. And today at 8:33 Central, so 9:33 Eastern, so it's 3 minutes after the open of the market, you get one of the kind of the best setups in AlgoBox, really, because it's so easy to see. It happens a decent amount, and it seems to work out on a fairly regular basis. You get this double cross, and they call it the double cross double move, or DCDM. And so you get these crosses are basically, and it's an algorithmic system, so I can't go into all the details of exactly, what's built into it because I don't really know, but that doesn't matter. You don't really need to know all of the details. You just need to know that this is measuring a spike in volume and a spike in the speed of that volume. So it's kind of like the aggression of that volume. And you AlgoBox geniuses out there, feel free to correct anything that I say to make things more clear. But this is really a classic way that this sets up. Price is moving down, and then you get this double cross. So if price is moving sideways and you get a cross and a cross, that's not a double cross double move. So you got price moving a decent pace down, and you get these double crosses here. So now what you do is you take a measurement from here to here, or possibly from a smaller distance from here to here, and then you measure it out an equal distance for your target. And so I measured out the bigger target from there to there, and then from then on down, it pretty much hit to the tick on that measurement. So we can see it play out here. If I can get my system over here, let's move the next page. And so as you can see, it moved down. We'll go back. There's the double crosses. You want to get in right here as close to this cross as possible. You would put your stop above, I think, the first cross. Correct me if I'm wrong, folks. And then you can see price move down fairly quickly. And I've got my measurement here. This is the, I think the Fibonacci measurement tool. And you can't see the target down here yet. but then we move it and you can see the double cross is way back here. So it did take some time, and then it came down and it basically got to this dotted line right here. That's the 100% move, and would have worked out very nicely. And here's a couple things on the way. So you get this double cross and you get the move down, and this could have been your first exit right here, because you've got, and it sets up here on the large time frame too, you've got a harmonic pattern that could possibly act as resistance. So that would have been an excellent place to exit, at least on one target, take some risk off. And then when price comes back up, you get this pink dot, which is called the power dot. It's Fibonacci's and Elliott waves combined, and this has got the most amount of confluence. So it could be up to 15 amount of different Fibonacci levels all meeting in that one zone. Okay. So the pink dot is a powerful dot. They call it the power dot, actually. And so when that pink dot hits, since the price is already moving down, it hasn't come all the way to your target, that would be an excellent place to add or get back in if you got out earlier. Stop again would go right behind that. So super short stop, very tight risk, and it moves right down. So, I mean, that's multiple points on the ES. This isn't ticks, that's multiple points. So that's a great, I mean, you could almost be done with your day just on that move and then adding there. So that's pretty cool. Comes back, you get another cross, and it moving across, and right in that level of the cross, you get a red dot, which obviously is a sell. So that could be another great place to add on if you desire. And then it kind of bounces around and moves all the way back up here to the level where the crosses happened to begin with, the double crosses, and then comes all the way back down to about that measurement. So there's a good chance you would have got out before it made it all the way to that larger, but I measured from a big move, right? You could have, if you just measured from this smaller leg, then you would have got out much earlier. So there's different ways to play it, but I think that's a really easy concept to understand. Price is moving in one direction, double cross, get in, look for the double move. How much simpler could it be? So let's go to, let's zoom to fit that. So I just made that into a GIF so you can see it in action. Double cross, moves down, moves down. So let's get out of that. And here is entry number 2. Now what you're going to notice is here's the double crosses, here's the pink dot, here's that movement sideways, and this is, I think, the actual level that I measured down to of the double move, and you get a chance to enter again. So from 833 you entered once, you may have entered twice at 835, maybe again at 836, and now you get another setup at 839. So you can see on a good day how quickly you can be done trading. This is what's called a headshot. You get a blue dot, which is a power buy dot. Okay, so multiple levels of confluence there, and it's a headshot because you get that dot within the cross. So you get the combination of the Fibonacci and Elliott wave levels with a volume and aggression spike. Okay, so you get in there as close to that cross as possible, or as close to the dot as possible. You put the stop right behind that dot. So again, very short risk. If you're wrong, not everything's going to work out, obviously. So, don't go thinking that you can just click buttons and you're going to make cash all day long. I obviously didn't do that. Okay, so perfect headshot entry setup. And then again, you get a green dot here. So that's another chance to add on or to get back in. It's almost another headshot, but that one gets hung up a little bit. So you might have got stopped out there if you're playing it super tight. If you were just putting on a runner or something and your stop was still back here, then you're golden. But then also you get this J hook long, which is another setup in the system. These two lines down here are basically where you're looking for price to move back to. And then once it gets in this zone, hopefully you would like to see like another dot or a cross or something down there just for even more confluence. and then you move up to target 1 or target 2. But that's what it did. It bounced at the J hook. So I mean, you got a lot of go long signals here, and that worked out. You would have made multiple points once again. And then you got down here, you've got this kind of this delta dump. These are delta areas of delta spikes. So, you know, if all the sellers are kind of in one direction, all the aggressive sellers are all selling and there's not much aggressive buying, then you're going to get this big kind of delta dump, and that can also often be a signal that price is going to move more. Okay, so kind of it's like a big event is happening, so price is moving more, and a lot of times it could signal it's moving in the opposite direction of the delta dump. Okay, not always. Sometimes it's signaling that it's going to move even further in the direction of the delta dump, but a lot of times it's the opposite. And so the fact that you got this big delta dump here, they call it like a ready up. It means get ready. Okay, get ready for a big play. So the fact that you see this and then you get a power dot headshot right here, that's like a golden setup. Okay, so you want to get in there, and sure enough, that works out. So in a few minutes after the open, you've already had some great trades. And once again, there's the movement just set up with the GIF. So let's go to the last setup here. So again, you'll see that this is where we were just at, and then we get up here on the higher time frame, we get what's almost, this could be considered a headshot power dot. So you got the pink dot and you've got the big, this is the same thing as the crosses down here. They just make them bubbles on the higher time frames. So you can definitely consider that a power dot. Price had been moving down, so that's a good direction. You got the MACV is red. Some of my other trades on the previous trades, the MACV, we were going in the opposite direction of that, but not everything is always going to line up all the time. If you wait for that, you probably would never take a trade. You just want as many things set up as possible in your direction. So that could be if your bias is short and you're looking for a short, and then you get this head dot pink short. Let's go short again, even though we just took 2 trades in the last 8 minutes, 5 minutes really. And then you can see how well that worked out. So even if it was wrong, again, you're minimal risk. That's a ton of points. And it even moved further down. Let's go back one. It even moved for one more leg down after this. But I figured that was kind of a good place to get out once it starts moving sideways a little bit. You had these sort of 2 crosses come in that I think kind of boosted the speed down a little bit. But that's it. I just wanted to show you some basic setups of what you would be looking at with AlgoBox, and hopefully I will be getting better as this game moves on. And oops, didn't even see this back here on the larger time frame. In the same spot as the pink power dot headshot, you've got a red dot over here. So smaller time frame, larger time frame coincide together. MACV is red. This is kind of like MACD or whatever is what most people are used to. It's just AlgoBox's system for that. So we had even more power going on to this trade than what I originally saw. That's it. Any comments or questions, leave them in the section below, and I will leave you a link to a free 2-week trial, full system for 2 weeks for free. Just click on the link. It'll take you to Discord and let people know you're there, and they'll help you get set up, and you can play around with this. It's cool. Peace out.